Okay, all right. So for the record, the people that are just jumping in this Holochain community code live coding, we are beginning to code this Mailboox application. You can see the repo here. So this is like a distributed library powered by Holochain, so it has two basic functionalities. You can create books and you can borrow books or loan books, let's say. Those will be separated into different modules. So we'll have a book zone that contains all the information for books and so on. And we'll have a second loans zone, and that should be used to borrow and loan any kind of item, really. And I've been instructed to develop the UI part for it. I'm gonna use lead element, which is a library, a UI library, not a framework, a library that helps develop native web components, so that they can be reused actually in any kind of browser, in any kind of framework. They are interoperable and they provide the same kind of reactivity and functionality as different UI frameworks around. So let's start. I'm gonna create this. This will be the backend code. For now, it's just boilerplate code. I'm gonna create a branch here, which is the UI branch. Gonna create a folder, not inside the zones, but on the top root folder. And here we will put the UI. So with lead element, I think what they have to start to is the PWA started kit, which is from Polymer, the same team as the lead element. Okay, so we can just go like this. Yeah. I think I will be using the TypeScript template. Okay, I think so. Let's see. We can go inside the project. This is Mailboox. Okay, and we can now collect this. What this will do is create a template for the UI code. So there we have it. I've chosen to use the TypeScript template because I like TypeScript a lot, and I think it's a very good way to develop stable JavaScript applications. So now we can just jump into the UI folder and just treat it like any other UI project. So we can delete stuff we don't need from the templates. I think we can also delete well, mainly what we need is npm start, right? So let's see if that works. That should work, at least in theory. Let's see. Oh yeah, we can do, we have to do npm install first. So, yeah, and then we also need to delete the .git folder inside the template, right? Because this is what gets generated. So yeah, this is the one. So we are instructing it that this is a very big repository inside the mailbox. We have the UI folder, and that's just another folder, not a repository. So, okay, what we can do also is just download the Holochain UI libraries that will help us connect to the Holochain node. So for this I'm gonna be using Holochain Redux middleware because I'm gonna be using Redux as well. Yeah, this one. This will help us develop a lot faster because it takes care of all the communication with the Holochain node. We just input the location of the node, that should be localhost, and we can dispatch Redux store actions, and that will go all the way to the node and then come back. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna just stop the video here. Okay, so let me actually clean up some of my stuff. Okay, so this is still installing. That's a lot of installations. Okay, so what I'm gonna do actually is the same way that in the backend we have two modules, the books one and the loans one. I'm gonna do exactly the same here in the UI, so that if we wanna build another application that's will include any of those modules, any of those zones, we can actually reuse all the UI, all the components and so on. And this is one of the cool things about Lit Element, that you can just throw the elements in any web application and it should work. So let's see, and actually what I'm gonna do, is create a folder here that's books, the loans books, the loans module, and that should have components, state, and I think that's it. And the books also components and state, and we have this global store. That's fine. This is all scaffold code. I think we can get rid of this. Well, we can reuse some of the boilerplate, right? So what we can do is, yeah, not yet, the counter is like better, and put it on the state reducer.ts, put it here. We can delete this state reducer.ts. Okay, so we will be using standard Redux JS. So then we have actions here, ts and actions. Okay, npm, we have to install this one, right? So okay, and we can just get a boilerplate. Ooh, too much code. Too much code. Too much code to copy. Actually, yeah, it's fine. We can delete this. Right. So we can delete the action, right? Because that boilerplate we are gonna get from the documentation of HC Redux. So now we have source, book, loans, and the store that's gonna like get all the things together. Okay, so now in the books reducer we can start. I always start with defining how my state on the UI is gonna look like, and from there I go to my components. For the record, here we have agreed on the basic functionality that this app is going to have. So from the book zone, we are gonna create a book, get my books. Okay, so basically create book and get my books is gonna be the basic functionality here. So we have a CRUD of books, some kind of form, and then a listing of the books. And then for the loans, it gets a little more complicated because we can have a request to borrow, then get loan requests, create loan and decline loan. So what I actually can do is from the book listing, I can go to the just click a borrow button, let's say, to create a loan request, and then from the point of view of the owner I can see all my loan requests, let's say, and just decline them or accept them. So that's quite the functionality. I'm gonna have to like design the interface at the same time as I code it, let's say. So let's see, book state will contain for sure some books, and that's a dictionary of books. Export type dictionary. Dictionary is just a normal JavaScript object that's only of type D. So maybe first I need to define types. So the interface is export interface book, and that will be exactly the same as we have here, right? Because we don't wanna interfere with the backend. So strings in TypeScript are in underscore lowercase. So we have book, and that's it, I think, for this module. So books, this is a dictionary of books, right? Dictionary of book. We have to import that. Types, yeah, root action. No, I don't want root action. I don't want this. So book state. The initial state should look like books empty. Something like that. What else do we need in the books state? I think that's it, really, because all the other information is gonna be in the other one, right? Let me think. Yeah, I think that's it. So this will only be a map of address in Holochain to the actual book information. So now we can go here and see how the Redux function is looking like. So yeah, TypeScript support, right? So we can do this, and in the reducer, do we have type safe actions? I don't know if we do. Yeah, I think we do. Yeah. Okay, so we can just do it like this. I think we don't need that anymore, so we can do like this, get type, some action. Okay, so first we have to create the actions. Let me just do it like this, okay? And then we will need to define a book action type. let's go to actions, book actions, and let's define actions. So in here, yeah, actions creator, so yeah, we can do it like this. So, and here we can go look at the, actually what I'm gonna do is do it like this, and we can see, yeah, create book, get my books. For now what we are gonna do is get my books, and that's create zone called async action, some instance. The test instance is the HC run instance, that's for default. Some zone, that's the book zone, some function, get my books, and this, yeah, okay, nice. So get my books we have, then we have, actually what I'm gonna do, yeah, it's fine, yeah, get book. I'm thinking we wanna do it with thank, I think. Do we have Redux thank here? We do, so that's a win for us. In this case we can do it like this. So we can go, okay, export const get my books for const. How do they do it here? Yeah, in order for the UI to make it easier for the UI to call this, we can do it like export get my books creator, right? Or maybe action, get book action, and create book action. So what we can do now is export function get my books, and this will be a thank type of action. Dispatch, yeah. So what we can do is just get my books action that create, and we have no parameter here, so that's good. So we can dispatch this actually, right? Yeah, we can dispatch this. Dispatch. Right, and then for parameters. No, we don't want that really. I don't want to have to type all this. I really don't want to do that. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So get my books, get book, and now here book address. Right. So here what we are doing is exposing these functions to the UI for it to be easier to create these kinds of actions. Get book action, create, and now this is the parameters. This should match these parameters, so address, book address, and now get book, no, create book, and here a book, right? Okay, and now here create book action, and the book, it's this book here. Okay, I think we are a go for this file, and then in this, no, not in the store, in the reducer we can go like case, yeah, case get type of get my books, right? Success. Get my books action. Success. Okay, in this case we'll have the result like this. So in the payload we will have the function call result. So I will have to test this afterwards, but it will be something like return state, and with the book ID get my books action is gonna return get my books a vector of books. So what I'm gonna do is do it like this, const state this is to create a new instance for the Redux store to update new state, and we can go over the action.payload. This will have a vector of books, right? So we can go book for each, actually for each for each book we can go book and new state. We don't have the addresses here, so I think I'm gonna request some changes here, right, because I have no way of, yeah. So let's see if we can communicate with everyone. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi. I'm gonna request a little change to the interface, if that's okay. So here in the get my books call, I have no way of getting the IDs of these books. So what we could do is return something like HTTP API get links, something like this, get links and load.
Can you share your screen?
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Or we can go to the Twitch. Whichever one.
Yeah, sorry. So in this function, get my books, I don't have any way of getting the address of these books I'm getting, and I need them in order to store them in the UI and reference them. So I propose to just return something like this, and actually this would be easier because it's the get links and load return type. So we can go in the backend, we can just go get links and load from the from myself, get all the links and load them, and from the UI part I can process them and transfer them into books. So what I'm proposing is just basically to do like this. Change some API result to some API result back some API result entry. Is this fine for you?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay,
Yep.
Perfect. So yeah, that was the request.
Okay.
Okay, see you now. So we have made the request and it's looking good.
Okay. Changing.
So okay, something like this.
So
Yeah,
we have
actually we don't have that much idea of what we will have here, so we'll have to test it. In any case, get type of get book action. It's gonna go a little bit different because in this case we are only getting one book, right? And in this case, let's see, it's like state. Yeah, and actually it's the same thing here, right? Because we don't have the book. What we can do is, yeah, we won't have the book here. Yeah. So I think here entry, get entry result is okay. Let's see, get entry. Option entry, and does the entry store the address? Entry up entry value. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. Yeah, I don't think it does, so I need to ask again. Actually, to just get entry result. Get entry result. Get entry result. I don't think that's it. Get entry result. Oh, what? Oh, request guide. No, get entry result. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one I want. Okay, so here it should be something like we have the book ID here somewhere. We will look into it, action.payload.result.single, something like that. Address, it's action payload result. Yeah, something like this. I'm not that worried now about the typing and getting this right. We'll deal with this later. And then actually create book does not interfere in our book state thing. Okay, I think we got it. So we can just export books reducer, and these actions are gonna be of type. Oh yeah, I don't think it's good for us to type them. It's okay. Action payload does not exist. Do we have here some helper? Any action? Yeah. Oh, action. Okay, nice. So we got this. Okay, something like this should do. Then components, we have the book list, right? Book list. Yeah, seems nice. Export class book list. We can just do custom element. No, it's custom elements, right? API, not API guide. Getting started. Custom element that should be imported. Import custom element HTML lit element from lit element. book list extends connect, not this one, this is gonna be the way we are gonna connect with the store. And actually first we should configure this. Okay, let's deal about this later. We connect the store, we import it, right, lead element. So now we have this very important function that's render. It's the most important function, right, because it defines the way that the element's gonna look. So and on lead element you have to define properties, and in this case this property is an array of books, right? So this is a book array. Nice. So we have our books array, has no initializer. Okay, no, it's okay. But, okay, so now we can go. How would you go at this? Okay, let's say this is a dumb component and only renders books. That's it. So it does not actually connect to the store in any way. It's just a rendering component. The connections will be done by a component in the upper stages. So let's render the book. A book list, yeah, render book. I don't know, maybe book detail should be its own thing. Well, let's see how it goes, and if we feel like it, we can split it. So render book, we have here the book, return HTML. So here is the way in which we define the things. So we are like just defining the way that the HTML is gonna look by putting in the JavaScript properties that we want it to be defined in the HTML. Let's see. So I think that for now it's just gonna be a list. And for that we are gonna need, yeah. Okay, let's bring up my favorite. I don't know if this is ready. This is a web component library with material design. Yeah. Okay, let's install this. Yep. So npm install this. We can also install because we're gonna need it. Button. I think for now that's it. Okay, so a book, it's gonna have, let's see if there are some other material components. The demos, I want the demos from this. Okay, yeah, yeah, these are the demos. So these are the kind of components we will be using in order to make the UI. So yeah, I think we can just go with spans and so on. So we can just go with h4. Let's see how it looks afterwards. But we can define like, oh yeah, another thing that's useful is to define short styles, because on the web components, new API, shadow roots, CSS values, CSS in general does not traverse inside the components. So it's useful to define these short styles in order for everyone to be able to reuse the styles inside the component. So this is the way you do it. So we can define a column that's display flex. We are using the new flex API, flex direction column. Okay, and then we can go column row, flex direction row. Okay, and now we can go to the book list and import those shirt styles. Style, return shirt styles. Yeah. So now styles. Yeah. So now we will have this available here. Div class column. We want it to be a column, right? First. So the book name is first. Book, maybe what else? Span underneath that. Span book that. Yeah, the book owner, we'll leave it at that for now. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. Then we can check if we want to add more of that. So here we can do like this, that books, that map, and a book is rendered like this, dot render book. A render book, that's a book, and that's a column also. Ah no, sorry, that's a mat list. So let's see how this is done. Oh, we don't have any kind of... Okay, yeah, we have this. So the way we do this is by importing here authentic list, and here we can just go mat list, sorry. Yeah, like this. We don't need, I think, the column because it's already defined. And then, okay, what we are gonna do is just wrap this render book inside a list item, and we are gonna do it like this inside, right? So it's gonna look like this, and then a divider after every book. Okay, I think that seems good, at least for now. So yeah, let me just get back in 2 minutes. Okay, so we are back. What we are gonna do next? What are we gonna do next? Okay. Let's go to the loans. We left that on the site for now. Let's see what the loans zone is looking like. Okay, so we have loan requests, loans. Yeah, let's define the state for this. So we have to create new types here. Export interface long request, and that's exactly the same, but addresses are strings in TypeScript. String export interface loan, this is a loan, return by and a number, right. So we can just copy paste this and see. Let's see, we have 4 functions which are get loan requests, all these would be on the loans, get loan requests, request loan, accept loan, that should be noted here. Maybe we can add I think that's fine. Okay, so we have accept loan. We have also decline loan. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, we know about this already. So action, so get loan requests. I think we don't have any, yeah, we don't have any parameter. Get loan request, great, just like that. Request loan action. So this will be request loan, and I think, yeah, request loan request, so this should have item address and also borrower address. So in here we can do item address, it's the item address, and we can do borrower address. Borrower address, I need to have a me. Request to borrow, yeah. Only pass the item address from the Holochain. No. So what am I doing here? So here the request to borrow function accepts all loan requests, and this should be passed by the UI, but actually here we have the borrower address, which is already inside the Holochain node, right? Because only the person that's executing the request to borrow function is gonna be able to create these loan requests. In other words, you cannot create loan requests in the name of other people. So what I'm doing here is proposing that only the item address gets passed here and the borrower address gets received from the Holochain node. Let's see if they like that.
Can you see? Can you hear me, guys?
Hi, yeah, I can hear you.
Actually, Guillem, here the topic that in the definition, can you see my screen, yeah?
Yeah.
For the get books, it is the API result. It's supposed to, it is get book. It was the book, okay?
Right.
So generally it would be better to have an option dot books. It means this. You would receive option instead of book.
Yeah, the thing is that it's the same thing as the one function I requested, because here in the UI I don't have the address of that book. So it would be better for me actually to receive the get entry result, which is done by doing get entry result instead of get entry only, because then in that you have the address of the entry. So if you go to the markdown, to the hackmd, and you go to the link, this link, developer holochain, so on, in the comment, here in the...
I think it is better that you can share your screen.
Okay.
Let me stop. And okay.
Nice. So this is optional, but could make my life somewhat easier. So what I'm proposing here is that instead of doing get entry, we do get entry result, which looks like this. And then in the UI I have the get entry result, which inside it contains the meta information for the entry, and that includes the address, and that I need. So it's only changing get entry by get entry result, and I think you can do get entry options default, I think. Let me see. Default, yeah. So what you can do is go like this. You can go HTTK get entry result the address the same way, and then get entry options default. That would work for me and would return this type of get entry result.
Okay.
If you want, I can
also,
yeah.
The same with the list, yeah?
The same with the list, but the list is somewhat, I think it's somewhat easier because you can just do get links and load. I'm thinking now, this does not return the address, right? So we can't use this exact function. Let's see if we have something better. Get links. I think we should use get links with options and some weird options. Get links options. Yeah, we should use this, but in a way or maybe get links result. Let me think. Get entry options. Yeah.
Maybe the get entry result can also contain as an item a list of items.
The thing is, I think the get entry, it's only to retrieve one entry, not to retrieve a list. So that would work on the case of get my book, but not on the get my books, right? This is only one entry. So yeah, you can have the entry history, but it's only one. It's not like a list of books. So yeah, you have the entry and so on. For a list of entries, I think get links would work. Do you want me to bring up, I've done this in another project. Do you want me to bring up the exact line and send it to you?
Yeah, if it is available, yes. If it is time consuming, let me work on it and then.
No, I think I have it. If you wanna bear with me just 20 seconds, I think I have it somewhere. Get links. Let's see. Oh, why not? Okay, let me look for it and I'll send it to you.
Oh.
Can I just ask how things are going generally, Hedayat?
So I'm implementing Zone. Generally, I'm in the book, almost finishing the function one by one, but no build. I didn't build anything. Right now, I'm just writing.
Because I've done some tests, but when I can't run them, I really have a hard time figuring out how to do syntax and stuff.
So really quickly, I'm gonna finish. I think the function is not gonna big deal. It's gonna be finished really soon for the book at least for a one zone.
Okay.
I'm considering whether or not maybe we.
I can push the code. Yeah, would you like that? I can push the code in my branch.
Maybe if you have a little bit left, maybe we finish the stuff that we're working on to another. I don't know how much you think, maybe 10 minutes or something, and then maybe we can do like a little review and get some things together and see where we go from there.
Okay, let me.
Guillem, do you have any?
Yeah, one nice thing to have, let's say, since we have split the modules, would be that we split the responsibilities. So maybe if you're somewhat stuck in the tests, you could start the loans module. So then, in the same time that you are writing the test, you are writing the Rust code. I don't know if you want to do that, but that's definitely more parallel. You can make it work more in a more parallel manner than one doing the backend and the other the tests. So as you want,
I can start looking a little bit at the loans and yeah.
as you feel more comfortable. For me. So Hedayat, I'll update the markdown and send you the code, right? Okay.
Thank you.
let's see, get entry options default. Get entry options default. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Okay, so let's continue the UI code of the loans module. Let's see. Okay, so request loan, create book, no, request loan, where were we? Yeah. This is nice, accept loan, accept loan. This is yeah, loan request address, so loan request address returned by int and number. So loan request address return by so decline loan. Oh, this is create loan. Ha. This should be the one. Forgot to add. Yeah, okay. So we have accept loan now. This is the one. Accept loan action, decline loan, and this requires a loan request address string. Decline load action. This is loan request. Okay, so we have the actions. Now we can go ahead and do the state, the producer, so loans state. Now we have two dictionaries, and actually what we can do is just move the dictionary type here, just import it here. Right. So we have loans request, dictionary of loan request. And we have the loans, the actual loans. It's a dictionary of loan, right? So loan state. Oh, actually, I think we forgot to get the loans. Yeah, we forgot to get the loans. So I think we need a way to say get my loans. Thing is, there is not an easy way for us to retrieve the loans we have already accepted, right? And this should be easier. Right. So this is what will go here. So we have to create a new one. Right, good. Okay, so we have loan request and loans, so we can do it like this. Okay, so we are defining the initial state, and this will be the loan state. This will be any action as before. So I'm gonna do a little bit of cheating now and just import some utility files I've already developed. In order for it to be easier to deal with the responses from Holochain node. So let me just grab that. So here we can go here, here, here. Connections, no, actually not. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think it's this. Good. So we need to just utils parse entries, and an entry is just yeah, it's just a T, and we need parse entry like that, exactly like that, and we have to convert this to export function, right? So public remove export function, yeah, like this. So now let's see what's happening here. Yeah, okay, so the entry result, entry address, yeah, like this. Just doing a little formatting. Parse entry. Type function calls may not accept type arguments. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we have these utility functions. They just unwrap the JSON responses from the Holochain node. So now actually what we can do is go here and let's see what's the return function for this. Get entry result. So get book action is gonna result, so we can do like const entry result. It's parse entry result of action.payload. And now we have in entry result we have address, right? Entry result of a book, and we have the address and we have the entry. Right. Why is this undefined? Okay, I guess if entry result is nothing, return state the same, so don't update at all. Yeah, okay. And now here what we need to do is to entries. So this is an array of the same thing, parse entries results, and now we have entries results. This is an array of entry result for sure, entry result, and now we have entry result address, it's entry result entry. So something like this should work. Why is this element? Oh, sure. So we need to get that into the books. It's missing the following entry. Okay, so this is an array of entry result of book. TypeScript is happy now. Nice. So loans reducer export. Can just do okay, same thing as the last case. So yeah, something like this should actually work. So get type, we are gonna import get my loans action. So get my loans. This would be an entry result of loan. Okay, and now
Guillem, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm thinking with this, when we're getting, so for instance, with get loan requests for the user, for the request, I mean, they have in the struct there, they have the item address and the borrower address, so the one that wants to borrow it. But so if I want to get the requests that are for things that I have, so for my books that I have on my shelf, the owner is stored within the items. But how do I get all the items to go through them and see whether or not I am the owner of that item? Like there are no links.
Right. So what you want to know is how to get all the books,
Yeah.
all your books. Okay, so there needs to be, I think there needs to be in this zone a link from your address, your agent address, to the books you own. And this is what get my books is gonna use actually. So basically you're using your agent address as your anchor. And that should be defined in the entry definition of a book. Definitely.
Of a book, yeah.
Yeah.
So the book should also create a link of the link type has book or something.
Right.
When you do create book, you should have that as a function that creates a link.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's the way to go. And actually it's the same for loan requests. They should have a link to the I think, right, because there's no way. Yeah, otherwise it gets a little complicated. That's interesting. I don't know if this should have a link to the agent. That's
The loan
interesting.
request.
Yeah, I think it should definitely have a link from the borrowers in case in the future you want to see the state of your loan request, the ones that you made, and maybe not right now in this prototype, but in the future. I don't know if the other way around. So should this loan request be linked from the owner of the book? That I don't know. I think it would be definitely useful. Yeah, I think it should have, because then you have to get loan requests. Yeah, there should be a link from the owner of the book to all the loan requests that request that book. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you create a request to, so in the function request to borrow, it should also create a link from request to owner of book
Actually,
of item.
I think the other way around. It's interesting because now we don't have the information. Yeah, let me think this through. Not exactly sure. So the item address. I just okay. So what I'm struggling with is that in here the request to borrow, you actually don't know how to find the owner of the item, because you don't know you are dealing with books, and inside books there is the book owner.
There's the owner.
Yeah, so you actually can't do it like that. One solution would to add the owner address inside the loan request, but then you have to validate in some way that that owner is like owns the item, let's say. And another way to do it, which I think it's quite nice because it would demonstrate breaching between zones, is to call the books zone a function, let's say isOwner, and ask if this or get owner and ask for the owner of the item given an item address. That could be fun, demonstrating breaching, and it's easy to do.
So we would get owner from, and so every zone that wants to implement this loans zone. So everywhere you want to use this loan zone, you've got to make sure that the item that you want to loan also has the get owner function.
Right. Yeah.
For it to work.
That's one way, and another way is to let's see, to create the relationship of ownership in this zone, but I don't see an easy way to do that because you don't have the answers here. Let's see. Because I actually don't want to be creating functions and functions in zones just for it to be compatible, right? I'm struggling with this. So yeah, I think that's the easiest option, to go that route, to do the bridging. Yeah, I think so.
So to have a function called getOwner in the books
Yeah,
zone.
right. So yeah, I can share my screen. Something like oops, let's see. Okay, get owner book address, and that's an address. Get owner, and the result is just an address that will represent the user, something like this. And then let the request to borrow function call that in order to make the link. Right, I think that's the best option. And this would demonstrate bridging between zones as well, so I'm happy with that. I don't know, what's your opinion?
Yeah, it sounds good to me. And yeah, I was thinking of how to do this, but that seems reasonable. It's just something that you have to make sure that you implement if you want to use the borrower, and it's
Right.
reasonable to have to make sure that you are following some sort of protocol. No?
Right, it's like declaring an interface. If you want to be compatible, just implement this function. And actually the function should be like this, get owner address. Okay, yeah, I think that's more the most reasonable.
And how are we with? Are we? I'm curious to whether we should try and mash things together and walk through some stuff, or because I'm thinking maybe like there's another possible hour. Um, yeah, but how are we feeling? Do we feel like we're in the middle of something and you want to finish it, especially Hedayat? I'm kind of just working on outlining the loans zone, so I've not gone really into.
Generally, the books is done. Just I stuck in the last function, and also there is a new one I'm gonna implement. But generally, it was done. But I'm gonna share my screen and ask question for Guillem. So the function that, let me share my screen here. The actually here, Guillem, that the function you mentioned here, but it is, I read the documentation. It is returning a result based on some address, but here we don't have any address. We are asking for the get my book.
Right, so here is, I think this is what Victor was referring to as well. So here, the only way to list books from without having any kind of address here is to have a link from the owner of a book to every book he or she owns, and let that be inside the create book function.
So I cannot hear you very well.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Is
It
it
means
better?
internet connection problem. I don't know. It is my side or your side.
Okay. Actually, my computer is getting a little overwhelmed, I think.
Maybe that's streaming.
Right now it is good.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay. Let's see if we can
Yes.
go through it. So the thing is that
So
there needs to be a link between the owner of a book, its agent address, right, and the books he or she owns, in order to retrieve all the books. So in this sense, this base address should be your agent address, and that can be
actually,
imported.
it's supposed to be that one. Yeah. It means the get my book. The I'm supposed to send my address to this one.
No, actually, the address is directly can be imported from the HDK.
Uh-huh.
So if you go HDK, use HDK on the top part, use HDK, and in here you can see the imports. Use HDK, and inside you put agent address, all uppercase, agent address, all uppercase.
Agent address
Yeah, and agent underscore address.
and agent
Oh, no,
underscore.
sorry. So, um, like this. Uh, I'm sending you in the chat. Like this.
Uh-huh.
And then the way to define a link from the agent address itself, I think it's better described on the GitHub example. Let me just get that. So block, and I think the posts. Right. So I'll share my screen.
Yeah.
So if you see here, this is the example in the Holochain Rust repository, right? So we are defining here a post, and then we are defining links from the agent ID, and we this is like the only special type of entry in Holochain, because Holochain actually creates an entry for every agent um, on the boot process. So you can refer to it with this percentage. I don't know how that's called, but in this way you are saying, okay, I'm linking from this agent address to the whatever, in this case a post. So in our case it should be this name book, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
should define a link from the same agent ID to post.
Mm-hmm.
So this example works well.
So it means, but the link we are going to link book with what? With which object? With the, because here there is a book, there is a post with the offer. Yes.
Right. So we are gonna link the book with the agent address, so with the owner.
With the owner.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And then get my books returns all the books that have links from the owner, that's you, to any books. So that's get my books.
So let me clear something, because till now I was thinking link, actually it was, if I'm gonna explain, it is such sort of a one-to-many relation or something like that, that we can connect the object, you know. But right now, if any book entry that we are saving has the owner address as the address, why do we need a link?
Because of searching. So querying, not searching. Sorry, querying. So querying the DHT is actually If you don't have links, it's borderline impossible. So in order to get all the books which have you as the book owner, right? So what you would have to do is get all the book entries and filter them. And
Okay.
getting all the book entries from all the nodes, it's very costly. So it's like it's going to every one of the millions of possible nodes that are in the entry and asking
Okay.
each one of them. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
with the links, we can in
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 requests or hops get all the links, all the books entries that we care about. So it's
In architecture, what is the difference between right now links and books? Because also links, it is just the entry. So with a different field that it is telling your agent Andre and the books. And also it is distributing. What is the difference is query that it is faster?
right. So the link is a special type of entry. So you know that in the DHT,
Uh-huh.
every entry is stored on the closest agent hash, right? So if
Uh-huh.
you have a book that starts
Okay.
with 123, it's gonna be stored on the agent that's 124. The thing about links is that they are stored not on the hash of the whole link, but on the hash of the base address. Okay, so in that way, for example, let's say in this example, you have a lot of links from an author to many books, right? The books entries are scattered all around the DHT, right? So there's no way we can retrieve all of them and filter them through. But the other way around, if you go looking for links, the links entries are gonna be in the base from the indexed by the base address, let's say. And if that base address is the agent address, I can just go and ask that one node give me all the links to all the books in the DHT you are storing, because I know that since this is a special link entry, you will be storing uh, not by the hash of the whole link entry, but only by the base address. I think that's the best explanation I can give. Otherwise, I have to take out the paint and start drawing. If you want me to do that, I can do it.
No, no, it is okay. I will try to I will also try to investigate on myself. Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay.
But I got the point right now that we need to create a mostly link to find it easier. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can I maybe thinking it's now 5, and I would really like to see if we can put some things together and see if we can walk through a little bit. I don't know how you feel about that.
For me, it is who shared the screen?
Yeah.
Guillem shared.
Me. Sorry. Yeah.
It is generally for my side. So I can you see my screen? It is. I'm here.
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah, actually, I created a module. This module is the book with the definition and the business rule that when the book entry is coming, the name shouldn't be empty or not, author, gender, and name. So, and also in the lib, there are different functions here. So the definition is coming here that I put it in the book module here. So, and also these functions, they are okay till now, and that we were talking about this topic right now. And after this one, after finishing this one, as a get my book, it's supposed to be, I think, get my books, and then another one about the linking that Guillem already added, the new one. It's gonna be here. Get my books and get owner. Yes, you added, yeah, here. It's supposed to be, where are they? It should be here, and also I need to add hello. Hello. What happened? And also I need to add a link here. That's all for the book. I need to add a link here.
Right. Right. So from my part, I feel like I'm in the middle of having some sort of basic UI. So maybe 20 minutes more, and I can have something working that connects
Cool.
to REST.
Okay, let's try 20 minutes more, and then we can regroup and see where we are.
Okay. See you now. Okay, so let's continue. So where were we? We were, yeah, okay. So we were finishing the launch reducer. Let's see with the actions. Okay. So what we'd need here is to have get launch requests. Get my launch, yeah, we need to get launch requests. Okay. Okay, so actually here it's a launch request that's gonna be going in launch request and result. Yeah, that's fine. Why is this throwing an error? Oh yeah. So let TypeScript be happy, right? Ooh, that's not good. Okay, so const launch entries. Yep. Here, yeah, okay, good. I think for the other sides we are fine. Request loan, yeah, accept loan. I think so. So what we are gonna do actually is just cheat a little bit and go to the book list, and here we should add, yeah, okay, so this won't, oh yeah, okay, so we can have like a loan actions export class loan actions extends lit element render. Okay, we are importing the necessary stuff. Custom element loan actions import. So we want for this to be Wait a minute, maybe we don't need this. Maybe we don't need this. What we can do is say, okay, this is a column, but actually we need first a row. And in this row, what we will have is a button. And that button, which will be raised and have a label of request loan, will throw we need the book ID here, right? Right. So we need the book here. So this would be a dictionary rather than an array. This is an object, yeah. And now address string, we have here the address. And these books we have to do object.keys, this.books map book address is this.books book address. Yeah, something like this, and then we go. If we click this, it means that we should dispatch an event. Dispatch event new custom event. That's loan requested, and in the detail of that is book address. Right, so I think that should be cool. The only thing to add here would be, yeah, that here we could add an if that says if we are the owner of the book, there's no makes no sense to request a loan for your own book, but that's okay. What we can do now is just type the store, so we can root state it's configure the store. I mean, the root state it's something like loan state and book state. No shop for me, please. And then here is any action, right? Because we didn't okay. Yeah. So loans, it's loans reducer, books is books reducer. Okay, so now what we can do is declare a top a root component, let's say my app extends, and now here we are gonna connect to to the store. Okay, and now first updated, we will store.dispatch, and we will get my books, right? Because we have a property here that it's my books. Type object my books. Yeah, we're gonna do it like that. Yeah. My books. So remember, we are going a little bit the easy way, not caring about whether the books that exist are ours or not, because in this prototype every book is ours. So get my books should be the action. Get my books, dispatch, get my books, right? So yeah, get my books, it's fine. And then state change will be called every time state changes. So this.mybooks, and we can install authentic circular progress, I think it's called. My books are state.books. Oh, come on, TypeScript. Yeah, we are definite at that case. That books, yeah, that was relatively simple. And then for the render function, we have return HTML. That should be okay. This.mybooks is defined. If not, we are gonna just display a circular. And here we are gonna import authentic circular progress. Yeah, import books, my books components, right? Book list. And then, okay, so here we should input the book list, right? And the property books in here should be my books. My books, this my books, right? So what else do we need? We need to get my loan requests. Get loan request. Yeah, okay. So my loan requests. This is a dictionary of loan requests, and this should be a loan request list. For class loan request list extends lib element. So this would be the element in charge of rendering a list of loan requests. So dictionary of loan requests. Okay, render custom loan request list. Okay, it renders like this, return HTML. We have to import also the authentic MC list. Yeah, and let's say this is an MC list which contains this loan request. Oops, object.keys loan request dot map loan request address should be HTML. Yeah, and we will follow the same pattern we did on the last one. Return, yeah, this is a loan request address string and a loan request of type loan request. So we should go under loan request address. This loan request address. Nice. So what we should return here is the actual loan request. So we will input very few information, let's say. Okay, so we can do it as a column, and we say it's for loan request. No. Computer is having some trouble. Span from borrower address for item address, and that's a column because here we have a row, right? So we have a row that contains some buttons. Import material button, label decline, and if we decline this loan request, we should dispatch an event, new custom event, decline request, detail request address, loan request address. Yeah, this is all right in an object, and we can copy this and say accept. It should be it should be raised, and then we have accept request. I think that should do. Okay, so now we have a row. We have here an h2 Mailboox. This is only gonna render if we have my books and my loan requests. So my books, this is a column, yeah, and then this is another column. Get styles, return show styles, my book. Yeah, something like that should work. My launch requests. And we should import the loan requests. Loans. Yeah. Loans. Loan request list. Loan request list. So yeah, loan request should be this my loan request, something like this. Okay, and then we have to capture the events here and dispatch the good actions to store to the store. So from the book list, what kind of events loan requested? Yeah, okay. Loan requested. So loan requested. Yeah, let's name it loan request. It's clear. It's more clear. Loan request for item address string. Okay, and the loan request is that loan request e dot detail dot book address. Now we should do store dot dispatch loan request. Look, what's the name of that request loan? Yeah, and we have here the item address. So when that's done, window dot location dot, we can just go back to it. Dispatch is not okay, so we cannot do that, at least for now. It's gonna be refreshed this time, I guess. So we have to do accept request address and decline request, accept request. Nope. Actions, accept loan, decline loan. I think we made a typo, yeah. Okay, accept loan, return by, oh sure, so let's see, we have to import some kind of yeah, some kind of date picker. Let's see if we can get our hands on that. I don't know if that's available yet. Don't think so. Yeah, we'll just do the normal, I think. Yeah, like that. Okay, let's see, request address, return by. Okay, and in the loan request list, we should add here return by. Oh, actually, I just remembered we don't have any create book form, so let's do that in a short time. Return by return by. For now, let's do return by default date.now plus an indefinite number of milliseconds. So accept request. Detail, request address. Have to input the type here. Right. So we can accept the request or decline the request. Okay, so now what we can do is just here create book. So this is the basic form in which you will be able to create a book. Okay, so we got a form, and inside the form we have let me look up the API here. Yeah, so we have some input name. So let's see the, no, this is of class column, but any of this is of class. Yeah, the thing is that material components already have this text field, right? So material text field, yeah, we can just install it. You can use any UI framework you like, for sure. Let's see the documentation, but this is nice. Yeah, label the name, right? So we will have here the book, and that's a name. Actually, let's get all the properties. So, and then whenever there's an input, book, this dot book dot name dot it's a target value, right? So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's do it like this. Let's import also the text field, okay, name, oh yeah, So let's change this to e type custom event. These are all native API from the browser. Object is possibly null. This is not on TypeScript. Oops. Okay, TypeScript is being a little annoying here, so we can do it like this. Oh, what's it? What's that? Oh, TypeScript, come on. Property value does not exist in type event target. E-target. Input target value, huh? Ah, no, because this is not a custom event, this is an input event. So now everything's good. Or not. Come on, HTML. Sometimes you have these weird things. Input event. I know you exist. This should be easier. As string. Yeah. Okay. A string. Let's delete this because this has changed a lot. As a string. Oh, why is this giving me a hard time? As string. Let's try this type of casting. No. Oh, finally, TypeScript is happy again. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and it's author, book author, genre, blurb, and then we got ESPN, book owner, book owner. Okay, alright, and then at the end we should have a button that says create book. It should be erased, create book, and that should this dot create book, and store is should dispatch create book action. Yeah, like that. This that book. This lacks the button, and this should be imported from in here, right? How should we go about this? We should, yeah. I'd prefer to put it in here. So create book like that. Then we, yeah, create book. That's nice. And I think one of the only things left to do is just index. So we have to import my app. I don't know, maybe it's already there. It is. Yeah, good. Let's try to build this and see how it doesn't build. Ooh. Okay. Okay, one thing we did not do is configure the Holochain reducer. So let's see. Here we should, yeah, and we have some nasty things also. So we should do this on the store. Right. Funk. Shouldn't this be a that's interesting. Oh, we have to install this package as well. Okay. This is the normal HC web client that does requests without the Redux, any Redux assumptions. Okay, let's look Redux apply middleware multiple. Interesting. And if I put this here, okay, he's happy now. I'm happy too. Let's see why this didn't work. It seems to be working now. Let's see. Yeah, no. Let's see what happens if I do it like this. website doesn't seem to be very happy, right? Okay, maybe we can do it like this. A little annoying, but oh well. Unknown. Something like this. In theory should work. Why not? Sorry. Ay, señor. Let's do it like this. Okay, last step of the process. And I think at last it should compile. Okay, I don't know what's happening now here. Let's see. Okay. Good, this should be wrapped. Let's start again, let's see what we do. There is a weird error. It's like it's duplicating the dependencies of the node modules. Let's install them again.
Hello, everyone. How's it going, Hidayat?
Actually, I cannot build. There are a lot of errors.
Yeah.
I implemented, but I'm trying to build. So I'm receiving error, importing, use, much.
Yeah, I did not remember to tell you. One thing that maybe would have helped is to have the code completion available in the editor, and
I didn't.
So the Visual Studio Code, if you set it up correctly, you can have code completion and error highlight inside the editor, and that helps a lot.
Actually, in the editor, I'm not receiving any special topic. When I'm running cargo build, I'm receiving bunch of error.
Yeah, that's because with Visual Studio Code you need to be inside the code folder, inside the
I am.
ah
I,
okay, so maybe there is some issue with the Rust version or the Rust uh, the
the
version of Rust that's installed in the operating system, something like that.
Generally, there are two topics. I am in. I run the latest version of Nix shell. So it means I have two options to build. One option it is the Rust on my local and Rust inside the Nix shell. I'm running a Rust inside the Nix shell, and also let me cargo build in the client. Yeah, mostly I'm receiving the same. Let me share.
Okay.
Here I am inside the Nix shell. Can you see?
Yeah.
It is the but before that one, Rust C version. It is 138. HC version 31. I think it is a lot. I should be on the 28, something like that, huh?
Right. Yeah. You should be able to get into the 28 by doing Nick shell inside the root folder of the repository.
Nick shell inside the folder of repository. Folder of repository. The code or the root folder?
The root folder. Here, yeah. Yeah, now it's downloading the correct Nix version. But from what I saw very fast, I think some of the errors are related to missing imports. Yeah.
I import the whole Holochain wasm util star, but it didn't work.
Yeah, but because I think if you import that, then you need to do the holochain wasm utils, let's say get entry, colon, and get entry options. So these examples are prepared to be used with the whole use statement.
Actually, it is downloading right now, and your voice is interrupting a lot. I couldn't understand what are you talking about.
Okay.
I think I need to wait to be finished this one, and then. And what about others? Let me stop. When it is start, I would come back to you again.
Okay. Victor, you're muted. We can't hear you, Victor.
Oh, sorry. No.
Yeah.
Okay. It looked like I was watching you, Guillem, on your feed. It looked like you were getting close to something.
Yeah.
Building. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe if it finally will compile, I think I have like the very primitive version of creating a book and then seeing my books and requesting a loan and seeing the loans. I don't know about accept and decline, but
Yeah.
something like that should be more or less there.
So I wanted to check up on. I've just the things I've not been able to test any of my stuff basically. So it's just probably a lot of errors. But I've sent a pull request to the main repo for the things that I've made. And I was thinking that it would be. I would maybe appreciate walking through some of that, or walking through, and also I think walking through some of the some of Hedayat's code maybe to see. That would be great learning. But I don't know if you want to finish something else first, Guillem, before we do that. And now you are updating Hedayat, so maybe you want to see if it works to compile. But otherwise, what I would suggest is that you also push code to the main repo Hedayat, and we can merge it all together and then kind of walk through a little bit and see what
Okay,
where we
sure,
are.
sure. So right now it is working on my client. I'm in Excel, but for building the cargo build, it is fetching a lot of actually resources that it takes time. Definitely, I'm gonna push the code.
Okay, I'm fine going through the Rust code. So yeah, go ahead. Wherever you feel it's more useful. Certainly, I don't think it's worth it to go to the through the UI code.
Okay, it would be maybe yeah, it would be interesting to I guess if somebody wants to look at how that was made, you can just watch the whole stream because you've made it all in there, no? It's
Right. If you want for me to like do an overview, or maybe it's just the Holochain connection part that's interesting, I can share the screen and do that in 2 minutes if you want.
yeah, maybe we should maybe we can do that. Yeah,
Okay.
if he's interested, let's do it.
Okay. So this is the application, like the small application. Um, what I've done basically is separated, as in the backend we have two modules, separated them into modules also on the front end, and each module, books and loans, has its own components and its own state. You can ignore the JavaScript files because they are compiled files and there should be elsewhere, but I didn't have time to correct that. So basically each module declares a list of components, and a component looks like this. So if you have seen a React code, it's somewhat similar, in which you declare a class and then you have a render function that returns some HTML. So that's pretty simple. In this case, for example, a book list is an element that receives all the books you have in the Holochain application, and just render them, just going through this code and getting this bunch of HTML to have just a nice little list of books. So this is what all the elements look like. Then the state is just good old Redux. So we have a book state and some actions. When you get the books, you store them in the state, and that's it. Then the most interesting part, I think, is the Holochain connection thing. We actually are using the Holochain Redux middleware, which allows you to directly declare actions that connect directly to the Holochain node. So we can see an example here. For example, create book. Okay, so we are importing create holochain, so a call async action. Never seen a function name so big as this one. But what this actually allows you to do is to dispatch this action into the store, and the create book of the book zone gets automatically called. And then when that resolves, you receive in your store a success action of that same kind, so you can act upon the result of that action. So that was an example of an action you can throw with Redux middleware, and this is how you mesh them together. So you need the URL of your Holochain node. You just to connect from the HC web client. This is like the other helper library from Holochain in the front end, in which you make simple calls, no Redux, but actually the Redux middleware uses this library. So what you do is when you create the store, you apply the middleware, which is Holochain middleware, with this object here, and that's the configured Holochain location. And then, as always, you can declare components that connect to the store, and then dispatch those actions we show to the store, wait for that state to change, and when that change, it triggers the rendering, and that's more or less the gist of it. That's the workflow of the application. I've just seen I'm lacking this, so let me correct. So my launch request should be state launch request. Yeah, I've not arrived to the launch part, only the launch request. So I don't know if you have any questions you want me to go deeper. I don't see much point in it right now from my perspective, but maybe you wanna go deep on some topic.
I'm okay with this for now. I'd really rather see some of the backend stuff and maybe walk through that. What about the rest?
Yeah. For me, it's more interesting to go to the Holochain stuff, because this stuff I coded it like this, and I intend to code every Holochain application I do like this, because the thing is that this book list could be able to be rendered in any framework application and so on. So I really like this interoperability, but you could do whatever you want in the front end part. So I'll stop sharing my screen.
Did you push your code?
No, not yet, but I can. Yeah. Yeah. It's not compiling yet, but once it compiles and I have 10 minutes to do a little debugging, it should be doing something. So yeah, pushed to the UI branch.
Okay. Should we? Are you trying to compile your code yet? Building it, or?
Okay. So everything is downloaded. I couldn't push the code because Git repository, the credential should be inside the Visual Studio Code. I haven't done that one before. But right now I am in the building area. Let's see, clear the Rust, the HC version.